Hey, what's happening, everybody in the crypto world? This is Busa. So the big question has been happening. We're getting closer and closer and closer to the 1st of August, and everybody is asking themselves what in the world is going to be happening on the 1st of August. Well, I'm going to try to explain a little bit more so that people can be more prepared to know what exactly is going to be happening on the 1st of August and what can you do to prepare yourself so that you don't lose most of your funds, should there be such a thing like that. Have to put it out there, guys, that this is not a investment advice or anything like that. This is my personal opinions based on the research that I have done. So however you choose to move forward, or the decisions that you're going to be make, are totally up to you. So I'm just giving you a background, or I'm just giving you what I have been researching, what I've been looking at, and possibly what I'm doing to prepare for the 1st of August. So at the end of the day, decision is all the way up to you guys. All right, let's get to it. Let me start with coin market cap. My goodness, have we been seeing a bloodbath here? I mean, coin market cap is going insane. Cryptos and currencies are losing value like nobody's business. Coin market cap is sitting at $71 billion. It was at some point at 101 or 110 billion dollars. So this gives you an indication how much the markets have really fallen, or crashed, if you want to say this. And most of this, it's been panic sell-off, people not knowing what they're gonna do, what's gonna happen on the 1st of August. So we've been seeing a lot of panic sell-off, panic sell-off, panic sell-off. And I wish I could just say to everybody, stop selling. But yeah. Anyway, so if you look on the right hand side, man, you will see only red. You will see red. Red is like a bloodbath. It's like a bloodbath. I mean, coins have in the last 7 days, lost value. 31% for Ripple, 25% for Ethereum. Man, Ethereum has been coming down. 28% for NEM, 25% for Dash. Everything is in the red, and this is obviously because of uncertainty in the market. People are not sure what's going to happen. All right, so I'm going to attempt, guys, to maybe bring you to that place so that you can make some informed decisions. If you are holding Bitcoins, so that you need to know what's going to happening, or what's happening with Bitcoins, so that you can be better prepared to know what you need to do. All right, guys, so let me quickly get to it. And here we go. All right, so before I can speak of anything, we need to first of all identify some of the words that you might need to understand what they mean. So some of those things, because going forward, let me just, yeah, there we go. Just trying to get this presentation to go on. So going forward, you might need to know these things. So let's just get a quick introduction on what all of these words mean, these vocabularies that mean. So we will be talking a lot about BIP 148. So we'll be talking a lot about BIP 148. BIP 148 is Bitcoin Improvement Proposal. So that's basically what it means, Bitcoin Improvement Proposal. 148, so when you look at BIP 148, 148 is the 148th proposal that has been put forward. So basically that's what BIP 148 means. It means that there's a Bitcoin improvement proposal, and we'll get into the reason why there is a proposal right now. One of the terms also that we'll be talking about is UASF, which stands for User Activated Soft Fork. And I'll explain why we're talking about the user activated soft fork in a little bit. And then also one of the terms that we'll be discussing in this presentation is SegWit. What does SegWit? What is SegWit? So SegWit basically means segregated witness. That's all that it means. So now let's have a look at the BIP 148. Right. Why the proposal? Why is there a proposal for improvement? Remember, we said that this is Bitcoin improvement proposal. So why is there a proposal for this improvement? Well, it's simple. Bitcoin blocks are becoming too big, and this causes high fees in transactions. The speed of transactions is taking longer to be confirmed than in the past. So, if you remember in the past, transactions were being confirmed very fast and quickly. That lately hasn't been happening. So, we have seen some transactions taking over 24 hours, some over 48 hours to confirm on the blockchain network, and so it's been causing a little bit of a problem. And because of this, also fees have been going up. I mean, if you storing your bitcoins with an exchanger, most probably you have received an email in the last month or so to say that we are adjusting our fees, that there's going to be networkers fees, for transactions to be processed or confirmed and things like that. So other proposals were put forward to solve these issues, but unfortunately not all proposals get approved, as we know that it all depends on the users, the miners, the hashing power, who's going to support certain proposal, which right now we are sitting on a controversy when it comes to BIP 148, because some people saying that they're going to go for it, some people saying they don't want to go for it, and all of that, right? So there were other Bitcoin alternatives that were released in the past, namely the Bitcoin Plus, XT, and Unlimited. But it looks like even with these, we are still looking at a fork that might potentially affect the Bitcoin as we know it and other altcoins altogether. All right. So now let's talk about the user-activated soft fork, which is the UASF. So to better understand this, we need to also understand what is a fork. As you can see on this picture, I've got a road that splits in between, and that's what signifies a fork. A fork. That's what signifies a fork. It's a split in between. So when you are going this direction, and then there comes a time whereby there's a split, and then we'll get into much details. If you can example of the recent split that had happened, the most I wouldn't say maybe the recent, but the most significant one that we have seen was the Ethereum and the Ethereum Classic. At the beginning, it was just the Ethereum, but there came a time that there was a hard fork that happened, that there was a split that took place, and out of Ethereum we had two coins. So we now sitting at two coins that are independent of each other, have their own blockchains and have their own currency, have their volume and their price. So out of Ethereum came Ethereum Classic. And the dangerous thing about a split, especially in a coin, is that most of the time we see that the price can actually go down dramatically. Ethereum's price went to about $10. It went down to about $10, and because there was a huge panic also in the market, uncertainty in the market, people were not sure what's going to happen, so you would see that such things are normally tend to happen, which is what we might possibly be looking at when it comes to Bitcoin. So how does a chain fork, or how a chain is forked? There's something that we call user activated or miner activated. It can be soft fork or it can be hard fork. So the fork can be user activated or it can be miner activated, right? So the soft fork means that the old version of a software or a code can work with a new version, but with more things added. Basically, it means that there will be something that will be added upon coding or upon a software. And if you still have in the previous software, you'll still be able to use, or you'll still be able to use the new software. They will be compatible with each other, just that the new software will have some added features, right? So a hard fork means that the old version of a software or coding is no longer compatible with the new version or coding. So hard fork means that it cannot work backwards. It can only work moving forward, meaning that the old version cannot work with the new version. That's what basically it means. So soft fork there can still be some compatibilities, and the old version can work with the new version. The new version will have some additions on, but with the hard fork, it means that the old version cannot completely be compatible with the new version, right? So let's get into it. What's going to happen on the 1st of August, right? So on the 1st of August, we will see a user activated soft fork will go live. Any Bitcoin blocks that do not signal support segregated witness will be rejected, right? So let us now understand what is SegWit and what does it do, right? So SegWit is the process by which the block size limit on a blockchain is increased by signature data from Bitcoin transactions, allowing the implementation of second layer solution for the Bitcoin improvement. It means that layers upon layers, it allows for layers to be laid upon layers, right? So SegWit, therefore, if implemented, removes signature data from Bitcoin transactions. When certain parts of the transactions are removed, this frees up some space and capacity to add more transactions to the blockchain, in return making it a little bit faster, making the transactions to go through faster and to confirm much faster. So basically what this is, it's a proposal to make the blockchain to be faster, because we're sitting at the problem right now whereby transactions are getting slower to be confirmed, the fees are getting higher. So basically that's what it is, right? So now let us look at some possible outcomes on the 1st of August. What will happen should there be a user activated fork? Should it be implemented? Should it go live? What's going to happen, right? So scenario number one, we can be looking at one coin, meaning that if the SegWit implemented successfully, meaning the majority of the hash power signal support for SegWit through the bit 148 on the 1st or before the 1st of August. In this case, you have nothing to worry about. We're going to have one coin as we know it, and there's going to be some improvements, the SegWit improvement, whereby some of the data will be removed from the blockchain to allow for faster transactions. So it means that this will be implemented completely okay. You don't have to worry about it. Bitcoin will be as you know it. So the Bitcoin price might pick up again in volume. So right now what you are seeing a lot of uncertainty in the market, people being unsure. That's why the market is plummeting and it's coming down, right? So scenario number one, if we end up with one coin, it's great, so we don't have to worry about, you don't have to worry about anything, you don't have to do anything, so everything will be done automatically, right? So scenario number two, it's a temporary split. We will see a new Bitcoin introduced. For the sake of this presentation, we will refer to the old Bitcoin as legacy Bitcoin. So what is legacy Bitcoin? It is the chain that did not signal support for SegWit through the BIP 148, meaning that they didn't support it, right? And we will refer to the new Bitcoin as 148 BTC. This is the chain that activated the soft fork, right? So if at any point after the 1st of August, 148 BTC chain becomes the chain with most accumulated proof of work, both the 148 BTC nodes and the legacy BTC nodes will switch to 148 BTC, which poses some risk as one chain will be discarded and leading up to possible loss of funds. So it means that if the new coin, which is the 148 BTC, accumulates most of the proof of work, it means that it will be dominant, meaning that both the old and the new will become the new, meaning that both the legacy BTC and 148 BTC will become 148, meaning that the old one will be discarded, and there might be some risk of possible loss of funds, especially if you holding your Bitcoins with exchanges and exchanges cannot be able to implement such things properly, right? So it's not recommended, should this happen, it's not recommended for you to be holding any legacy BTC or to accept any transactions from or accept any legacy BTC at that particular time, right? So let us look at the third scenario. The third scenario, we're looking at both coins coexisting. Ethereum, Ethereum Classic. We're looking at both coins coexisting. There is a possibility that 148 BTC nodes will never acknowledge the legacy BTC chain. In this case, we will have two coins that coexist, meaning if you were holding Bitcoins before, you will now be holding both legacy BTC and 148 BTC after the split. Right. So if the split does take place, there could be problems that we will be facing. It's possible for the transactions on both sides of the chain to look identical. If a transaction is picked by both 148 BTC and legacy BTC nodes, for example, because the receiver of the transaction transmits that transaction, the transaction will be valid on both chains. This is called a replay attack. It basically means that you're sending your coins from one chain, both the chains, they pick up the transaction, the receiver retransmits it, and then it's also seen as a legitimate transaction. So it means that it will be acknowledged. You might end up sending actually two coins instead of sending one, So spending coins on one end of the chain could make it possible for the coins to be spent accidentally on the other chain as well. Instead of paying someone only in legacy BTC, you may actually unintentionally also be sending them 148 BTC as well. So the best way to prevent a replay attack is not to send any Bitcoins post August 1st. Wait for some time. At least wait until it is clear what the situation is, where the proof of work is accumulated, mostly things like that. So also avoid sending Bitcoins a day or 2 days before the 1st of August to avoid them being stuck, just in case the confirmation becomes slow due to the congestion, because a lot of people leading towards that particular date, a lot of people are still making up their minds, they're still deciding what they're gonna do. So we might see actually a lot of transactions happening on the first, just before the 1st of August. Sorry, the last 2 days before the 1st of August, we might see a lot of transactions. So just to be safe, make sure that whatever it is, the decision that you have made, make sure that you don't do any transactions just before the 1st of August, so that to be on the safe side. All right. So now let's talk about how to prepare yourself, right? So what are you gonna do before the 1st of August? There are numerous ways people have already started preparing themselves for this, and we will take a look at some of the points you might have based on what you are comfortable with. Remember guys, this is absolutely up to you. My job today is to give you the options that are out there. It will be absolutely up to you which option you are comfortable with that you will be able to take on, right? So you have an option to exchange your Bitcoins. Option number one is exchanging your Bitcoins to fiat currency. A lot of people, I know a lot of my friends have already started doing that, and they said, you know what, I'm just gonna sell my Bitcoins and hold them. I'm just gonna sell my Bitcoin so that I can have fiat currency, the local currency, and wait it out and see what's gonna happen on the 1st of August, right? So that is one of the options that you can do. You can just sell your Bitcoins, hold them as fiat currency, as your local currency, dollars, pounds, rands, yen, whatever it is, based on where you are in the world, in the part of the world. So let's look at the advantages and disadvantages, the pros and cons of this, right? So you might actually save your funds if the Bitcoin value takes a knock and crashes further. So if you sell your Bitcoins and they are now in fiat currency and the currency of Bitcoin actually goes down, you might actually save yourself some funds. On another hand, you might miss out if the coin spikes in value during or after the 1st of August, during or after the 1st of August. So it all boils down to what are you comfortable with. Are you a risk taker? Are you holding the coins long term? Are you a short term? Are you trading? So all those factors are in place right now. All right, so option number 2 is to exchange Bitcoins for altcoins. So another option that a lot of people are already doing is to buy other cryptocurrencies or alternative coins, altcoins, using Bitcoin. So a lot of people I know that a few people have been buying what is this coin? LiteCoin. A lot of people have been buying LiteCoin, and as you can see that as much as others are decreasing in value, LiteCoin is a little bit steady because a lot of people are pumping money into LiteCoin. But then again, that can be a pump and dump, because after the situation with the 1st of August, a lot of people can choose to dump LiteCoin and then it'll just come crashing down again in value. Right, so let's have a look at the pros and cons of exchanging bitcoins for altcoins. Right, so advantages of this: you can invest in other coins that might not be affected by the price of bitcoin and lower your risk of losing your funds, which is exactly what I just spoke about concerning LiteCoin. So, and you don't have to worry about how your exchange service will prepare for the split, as your coins will be safe and you can just buy bitcoins again using the LiteCoins whenever the situation has settled down. Right, so the cons of this is that altcoins tend to follow after the bitcoin. So if the bitcoin price drops, or if the bitcoin drops in value, other coins also experience the same, so you could lose value of your coins. So you just have to look at both advantages and disadvantages. Right, so option number 3, it will be controlling your private keys, which is the option that will be doing, controlling your private keys. So the last option is to control your bitcoins by storing them on a wallet downloaded on your computer or device, or by storing them on a paper wallet and not leave them on exchangers who keep or control your private keys. Very important. If exchangers are not fully prepared for the fork, there is possible risk of losing your funds, because if whichever exchange, whatever exchange that you're involved in, be it Zeppo, Luno, Coinbase, whatever, as long as you've got bitcoins in there, you need to find out what are they saying, what are they preparing for this. So because if they are not fully prepared for this, and you could be sending some coins and they never show up on the blockchain or anything like that, and there could be a possible loss of funds. So based on different scenarios that can happen. Right, so let's have a look at controlling your private keys, the advantages and disadvantages of this. Right, so the pros of this is you have full control of your funds and not relying on online exchangers that might lose your funds. Right, so disadvantages of this is that you stand to lose funds if you don't follow instructions to back up your private keys if you are using a wallet. If you're going to be downloading a wallet into your PC and you're going to be keeping your bitcoins using a wallet, make sure that you back up your private keys, because these wallets providers, they do give you that option. So make sure that you back up your private keys so that you don't lose your funds. Right, if you're gonna be using paper wallet, which is the option that I'll be going with, and if you're gonna be doing paper wallet, storing your bitcoins on paper wallet, it can easily be misplaced and you lose access to spending your funds. So if you're going to store your bitcoins on a paper wallet, make sure that you keep it safe, which is the option that I'll be doing. So if you guys are interested, I'll do maybe another video, just a tutorial on how to create a paper wallet. So this is where we are, guys. So this is where we are, and we'll see how it turns out on the 1st of August. This is just giving you guys some ideas of what I will be doing during this time. So please, guys, follow me on Facebook. My page is Busa. On Twitter, it's also Busa, and this was brought to you by Busa and Royal Crypto. For now, guys, I'm out. I'll try to do another video shortly. Most probably I'll do a tutorial on how to create a paper wallet for your bitcoin so that you can store them offline out of all your exchange providers that you have in right there. All right, guys, so this is Busa currently, so I'm out.